Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a max effort upper day, but a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below. It would be greatly appreciated, but let's get over to the training. All right, I ramped up. I didn't even do anything between 225 and 315. I realized, look, my strength is up. Need to just do one plate jumps. Did a rep of 225, went straight to 315. Felt light. Went to 335. That felt light. So, jumped up to 365. Went for it. This would be a channel PR. This would be the heaviest bench I have ever attempted since being on YouTube. Not in my life, but since being on YouTube. It wasn't 100%. It was close. Good pause. Decent bar speed, a little slow in the middle. Good lockout. Racked it. Did it, and I'm like, you know what? I could have gone a little heavier. Maybe 5, maybe 10 more pounds, maybe. But here's the thing, guys. I have a modest arch, heels flat, close grip, true close grip, 16 inches apart. You guys can see there is no knurl showing. Okay, just press it. This is just brute strength. So no technique involved, brute strength. Hit that big close grip PR. Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. In fact, if I could even hit that in meet this year after making weight, I will be ecstatic. I would be thrilled to death. Okay, because that would put me in a real good place for my total. Not going to do much for bench records other than state record. It'll be over a 30-pound state record. Not world, but I'll take it. I'm pretty happy. And I had all these people chime in, oh, all the band work for your triceps isn't going to do anything really. It did, especially now that it got my elbows healthy enough to do JM presses, and we're about to take that up to another level. So what are we doing to keep the triceps growing? It's like, well, let's just do some straight up close gripping. I'm going to keep it simple. Pause close grip work for sets of 10. All right, then we do some JM presses, and then I did Skullcrushers later. You know what? Did some Skullcrushers. You know why? My elbows are in a healthy spot. Okay, they're in a real healthy spot. I can get away with these movements. These are some of the best tricep exercises. People can argue all they want. Remember this and this one study. 3 other studies show it's inferior. One study, this overhead work did more tricep. Skullcrushers do really, 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 really good in studies. Hypertrophy studies. Okay. We went for the big boys. We went for the proven effective tricep builders for benching. Close grip JM press Skullcrusher. All right, the elbows are feeling real healthy now. I feel like I've really, really built some tendons. I mean, doing up to 10 sets per workout, doing 20 sets a week of those band press downs worked wonders for my tendons. Like even now, I feel nothing, no fatigue in my elbows after hitting a close grip PR and doing all these other movements. They feel real good. I'm super happy. All right, even though I need to start trimming down now, food's coming down. I want to keep the triceps growing. And I'm going to be honest, my front delts felt like more of the weak link than my triceps at this point. Like I notice I'm on the eccentric rep a lot. Front delts. All right, I've got to keep them growing. So, what's the name of the game? They're going to be plate front raises. I love the upright rows. I think they're a phenomenal all-around shoulder builder. I'm doing so much other rowing now coming up in this session. I don't think I need it. Right? It's really going to be about the front delts. Front delts traps. Okay? Because all the other rowing is going to cover the rest of the shoulder. I mean, front raises do it too. But again, hit those JM presses. Trying to get decent range of motion on them. I'm not trying to go super heavy on them again yet. Let's just work with one plate aside. Work with one plate aside. Let's just build those triceps. And that's what it comes down to. Our triceps need to get thicker. We want to go really heavy. That's what the max effort work is for. All right, we're getting in there. We're building muscle. and we're building it in the tricep. All right, rows. I did 4 sets of 2 types of rows. It's time to double down on rows. All right, pull-ups are out for me for a while. I love the pull-up, and it's hard for me to ever give up pull-ups. I love them so much, and I prescribe them for so many of my clients. But they ultimately cause me more problems sometimes than they're worth, and I'm good at them. But, at the end of the day, rows will always be a staple. And what's going to build my bench? What's going to build my deadlift better? Rows. Particularly at a lower angle, which is what we're doing with both these movements. Hitting 2 different angles. What I always tell people, what's the best way to build a muscle? Use 2 good exercises. All right. We got 2 different grips. Because the seal rows, all right, have me in that full pronation of the wrist. Okay. Full pronation of the wrist. And we're doing a dead stop. I'm going to get a seal row bench, though, when I move. House is coming. I'll have that sorted before Worlds, and then I'll move after Worlds. And I'm going to just hire movers to do it. I'm not going to move. I'm not going to do it myself. All right. 1-arm dumbbell rows. And I decided to just use the bench, mainly because it's just faster and easier. It's just easier to set up. We're hitting a second angle. And dumbbells are great for finishers on a lot of these multi-joint exercises. I've made whole videos explaining why. Although I probably need to go a hair heavier on these dumbbells. Probably too strong for these. These are too easy. And I'm doing them real strict easily. So I need to bump these up a hair. But, I don't want to go crazy. I don't want to go 20 sets of rows yet per week. Let's do 4. So we get 8. 16 sets a week. I think that's good for now. I think that's really good for now. But we are going to hit the rows, and we need 2 different types of rows every workout. I want to hit the different angles. I need it for the grip. I need it for the back development, bicep development. Just what I'm doing. But yeah, I like the 1-arm dumbbell rows. Honestly, these feel better than the seal rows. If I really had to pick. But I like both. I'm a big fan of both. I used to always love Pendlay rows, and you guys know that. The more I've become a better coach, the more I've worked with people, the longer I've trained. As a master's lifter, the more I find that I just don't like the whole standing row approach as much. I think it's great for novices, but, when we're doing tons of low back work and posterior chain work, I do feel it limits our workloads. And it's one thing when you're weak. It's another thing when you're doing the weights I'm using for posterior chain stuff. I mean, you guys see me doing rep work, high rep work with a safety bar good morning for 250. Hey, I do 540 for sets of 10 on the reverse hyper. Okay, my posterior chain and lower back are getting smashed hard. I'd rather not use it on my upper days. Save it for those days. So I like all the more chest supported stuff. But that gives me 2 different angles. So we do plate front raises. And I went up, managed to get 3 sets of 10 with the 55. These were super hard. And as much as I love upright rows. Let's be honest here. Right now, what's going to build my bench more? This. It's going to get me to 405 bench. Front delt work. And keep in mind, these do work the whole delt. It's just way biased towards the front. But then we have the side and the rear getting hit from the rows. I mean, if we go off EMG data, a lot of the best rear delt exercises hit the side delts really hard, actually. So I'm not getting shorted there. Getting a ton of delt work, especially considering I'm not doing a bunch of little narrow grip rows lower on the chest. Those seal rows are wide grip. Okay, they're wider grip. They have to be with that bar. 1-arm dumbbell rows. I mean, again, different beasts. So with a lot of these, I'm not worried about it. We are hitting those angles. And that means that we are working the delts. We are working the entire trap. So, those front raises are going to bring a lot to the table. And if I don't do front raises, what are my options then? I do another press, which, hey, I may do. We may try to work with some overhead pressing again. I may not do the normal strict press. Might be the axle bar. Might be seated dumbbells. Maybe. But I like those front raises, and a lot of my strong benchers get a lot out of them, especially if we're not overhead pressing. But then skull crushers, and I kept these fairly light, kept them easy, did 5 sets of 12. And again, skull crusher means to the forehead. Yeah, this is harder on the elbow. You better have healthy elbows to do this movement, and you may not be able to do it as a long-term exercise. I would argue it's one of the most phenomenal tricep builders. In fact, I would say this is all you need is a smaller tricep exercise ever for your entire life, if your elbows could handle it. That's the problem, though. Got to watch that elbow health. But is it a superior exercise? I believe it is. I believe it can be. Sometimes you got to go over to use chains and stuff for it. And you got to watch that elbow health. But it will work. So, again, we went crazy hard with the tricep, and we went for the real hard hitters today. It's like, why not? I PR'd on that. What happens if I get my triceps another 10% stronger? See where I'm going? This is how we get to a 405. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.